To be honest, I think living in a big city uh, is the better choice for me because it not only broaden my horizon because in big city there are many places for me to start to study and the quality is better than in the countryside. And another another thing is that living in the big cities can widen my job opportunity in the future.
That was a much clearer response. You effectively corrected the grammar from your previous attempt and expanded on your points about job opportunities and education. To make it even better, you could say, living in a big city widens my job opportunities, making sure to use the plural form. Let's move on to the second question. Do you prefer physical books or ebooks?
To be honest, I think ebooks is a better choice for me because is very convenient. I just need a Wi-Fi connected digital device to read, but I think it has some detrimental problem. Is that it can it's not beneficial for my eyes. And if I use this for a long time, it can lead to many eyes disease.
You've made some excellent points. You highlighted the convenience of ebooks and also correctly identified the potential downsides for eye health. To refine your English further, you could say ebooks are a better choice instead of ebooks is a better choice, ensuring the verb matches the plural subject. Let's move on to your next question. Do you prefer spending time alone or with others?
I think spending time alone is a better choice for me because in a crowded place, I will feel worried and uncomfortable. And I think when when I'm alone, I can do everything better.
That's a very honest and clear response. You've clearly explained why you feel more at ease when you're by yourself and how it helps you focus. To make your response sound even more natural, you could say spending time alone is better for me instead of is the better choice, and perhaps use words like anxious or overwhelmed to describe how you feel in crowds. Let's move to the fourth question. Do you prefer hot or cold weather? Why?
To be honest, I think cold weather is a better because there are many reasons for that. It's in hot weather, you need to use the air conditioning to make you feel comfortable. But in the winter, you just need to wear more clothes such as jacket and use the long shirt. So and another thing that I like the cozy atmosphere, which is only affordable in the cold weather.
That's a very well-reasoned answer. You clearly explained your preference by contrasting the reliance on air conditioning in summer with the cozy layers of winter. To improve your fluency, you could say cold weather is better for me instead of is the better, and avoid using affordable to describe an atmosphere. Let's move to the fifth question. Do you prefer cooking at home or eating out?
I think cooking at home is a better choice for me because I think cooking yourself is a survival skill and is very essential. Another thing is that I can save my money and learn to take care of myself and do not to depend on anyone.
That's a fantastic and very practical point of view. You've highlighted how cooking is an essential life skill and how it fosters self-reliance. To improve your phrasing, you might say cooking for yourself is a survival skill and focus on self-reliance, rather than saying do not to depend. Let's move to the next question. Do you prefer studying in the morning or at night?
To be honest, I think studying in the morning is a better choice for me because in the morning I can focus much more on finishing the deadline, and in the evening after a stressful day I'm exhausted, so I think I don't have enough energy to guarantee the quality of the deadline.
That makes a lot of sense. Focusing in the morning when your mind is fresh is a great strategy, and your explanation about evening exhaustion is very logical. To make your English sound even sharper, you could say focus more on meeting deadlines instead of finishing the deadline. Let's move to the seventh question. Do you prefer texting or calling people?
To be honest, I think texting is the better because sometimes I have some situation that is not suitable for calling but I think texting has some disadvantage in that you need time to texting, so it can be more slower than calling directly.
That's a very thoughtful and balanced answer. You've covered both the benefits of privacy in certain situations and the drawback of slower communication. To refine your phrasing, you could say texting takes time instead of you need time to texting. Let's move to the eighth question. Do you prefer watching films or TV series?
To be honest, I think watching films is the better choice for me because I like to watch a movie from the beginning to the end in a short time, around 1 to 2 hours. And TV series is very long and I need to wait the episode, so I feel uncomfortable with that, and that's done.
That's a very clear description of your preference. You've highlighted the satisfaction of getting a complete story in a single sitting, and how waiting for episodes can be quite frustrating. To make your English even stronger, you could say watching a movie from beginning to end, rather than using the begin to the end. Let's move to the ninth question. Do you prefer working in a team or individually?
To be honest, I think working individually is a better choice because I can focus on much more to deal with the problem and I can learn the way to solve the problem independently. But I think teamwork can be very essential in the future, in my future career, because sometimes I can do not solve the problem individually, so I need my teammate to help me to finish it, to complete it.
That's a very mature and perceptive response. You clearly understand the value of independent focus for problem solving, while also recognizing the importance of collaboration for your future career. To improve your phrasing, you could say I can focus much better on dealing with problems instead of I can focus much more. Let's move to the 10th and final question for today. Do you prefer traveling by plane or by train?
To be honest, I think traveling by planes is a better choice for me because it's the convenient of the plane, because I just need around 2 hours to fly from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City. But if I use the train, it can take me around over a day just sitting in the train. But I think the plane has some disadvantage that the price was very pricey for people has a stable income. So I think it depends on the income of people who want to travel.
That's a fantastic comparison. You've clearly illustrated the major advantage of speed for long distances, while also being mindful of the cost factor and how it depends on a traveler's budget. To make that even more precise, you could say for people who have a stable income, rather than people has a stable income. That concludes the first 10 questions from your prefer section. Would you like to move on to the popular section next?
Yes, I'm ready.
Excellent. Let's move on to the first question in the popular section. Is cycling popular in your country?
To be honest, I think in the past, cycling was more popular because at that time, there are not many people have enough money to buy a motorbike or even a car. So bicycle is a choice that have affordable price but still have a good quality. But now with the development of technology, many new kinds of motorbike are invented, and many kinds of it had a affordable price. And another thing is that the distance people want to travel is becoming longer. So if you use the bicycle, it can be inconvenient and took a lot of time to go to the finish.
That is a very insightful and well-structured response. You've clearly contrasted the past and present situations by discussing economic factors and the necessity of longer commutes. To make that even more precise, you could say in the past there were not many people who had enough money, instead of there are not many people have. Let's move to the second question. Is street food popular where you live?
To be honest, I think street food was very popular in my countries in both past and now, or even in the future, because most of people in Vietnam has a stable income, so street food was very suitable for them. It had a good taste but had a affordable price, so many people can try and use it for breakfast or even for whole day.
You've captured the essence of the street food culture in Vietnam perfectly. It's not just about convenience and affordability. These vibrant stalls are a social hub and a reflection of daily life for so many people. Just to fine-tune your English, you could say street food is very popular in my country, and mention that most people have a stable income. Let's move to the third question. Is watching football popular in your country?
I think watching football was popular in my country with both generations. With a young generation, football was very popular, and they have many activity and like to for that there can be occur an event to support the teams of the nations. And with the elderly, they do not have enough health to take part in the events, but they still watch it from the television. And when the team of nation won a match, both young generation and the elderly feel very happy, and that's an activity that's devout to celebrate that.
That is a beautifully vivid description of how football unites all generations in Vietnam. It's amazing how the passion for the game brings everyone together, especially during those exciting celebrations. To fine-tune your English, you could say football is popular in my country, and instead of there can be occur, you could say events can occur. Let's move to the fourth question. Are video games popular among young people?
To be honest, in the past, video games was not too much popular with the young generation, because at that time people they only can use computer to use the internet, and they have to go directly to the internet center, and there are not many people have their own computer. But now, with the development of technologies and that now you just need a phone connected with Wi-Fi to play many video games, and it can be very convenient, and games game is becoming very widespread with both generations.
That is a great explanation of the shift in how video games have become accessible and widespread. The move from internet cafes to personal, portable devices has certainly transformed gaming into a mainstream activity for many people. To polish your fluency, you could say video games were not very popular, instead of was not too much popular. Let's move to the fifth question. Is yoga or meditation popular in your country?
I think it relies on what kinds of person we are talking about. With the young generation, that there was so busy and they don't have much time for yoga or meditation. But with the elderly, they have many time, and also yoga and meditation was very beneficial for their health to stay in shape and live live better.
That's a very insightful point about how interest in wellness can vary so much between generations, depending on their lifestyles and priorities. To improve your phrasing, you could say it depends on what kind of person we are talking about. And correct, they were so busy to they are so busy. Let's move to the sixth question. Are outdoor markets still popular in your area?
To be honest, I think outdoor market is still popular in my country because, as I said, people in my country, most of people in my country have a stable income, so outdoor markets is a better choice for them because they can bargain for the better price or better price. Okay.
Bargaining is certainly a big part of the appeal at outdoor markets, allowing people to get some great deals. Since that covers the sixth question, let's move to the seventh. Is learning English popular among children in your country?
To be honest, I think it's very popular in my country because in the past there are not many people can invest for their children to studying foreign language, especially in the English. But now with the globalization, the English are becoming very essential. It's same as the second language. So many parents invest their children many English courses and English can widen their job opportunities in the future.
That's a very accurate observation. You've hit on a major shift in how education is prioritized to prepare the next generation for a globalized world. To refine your English just a bit, you could say parents invest in English courses for their children, rather than invest their children many English courses. Let's move to the eighth question. Is traveling abroad popular with people your age?
To be honest, I think it relies on what kinds of person we are talking about. With the family has a stable income, traveling abroad at this age was a dream because it costs a lot of money, and also my parents and most of parents at that kinds of family only invested in studying and no invested much more in traveling or playing. But with the rich, they have enough money to travel to a foreign country, so they often bring the kid too, and so
That's a very clear way to explain how economic factors influence travel opportunities for young people. To refine your phrasing just a bit, you could say my parents and most parents from similar family backgrounds only invest in studying, rather than saying no invested much more. Let's move to the ninth question. Is home cooking still popular in your country?
to be honest, I think it's still popular in my country, but because it's a very essential skills for you, and first it's a survival skill, and sometimes it can have you in some poor situation. And another thing is that if you learn the way to cook for yourself, you can learn the way to cook for your relative, like your friends or your family.
That's a lovely sentiment. Cooking for others is a wonderful way to show you care and to build stronger connections with friends and family. To improve your phrasing slightly, you could say it is an essential skill rather than it's a very essential skill. Let's move to the 10th and final question for today. Are traditional festivals still popular in your hometown?
To be honest, I think traditional festival is still popular in my country. First, it's not it's our culture and it needs to be preserved. And the second is traditional festival is the good way for widen the tourism. So there are many places with a traditional festival is becoming a new destination for both foreign customer and local customer.
That's a fantastic observation. Festivals truly are the heart of a culture's identity and a wonderful bridge for sharing that heritage with visitors from near and far. To refine your English slightly, you could say festivals are a great way to boost tourism, or festivals are a way to preserve our culture, rather than saying it's not a count, it's a count of culture. Since we've completed all 20 questions, how do you feel about your speaking practice today? Would you like to focus on specific areas in our next session?
Can you give me band score? Band score.
Based on your performance today across the 20 questions, I would estimate your current speaking level to be around a band 6.0 or 6.5. You demonstrated good fluency and were able to express your ideas clearly with relevant examples. To push your score higher, focusing on a wider range of vocabulary and improving grammatical accuracy, especially with subject-verb agreement, will be very beneficial. Would you like to focus on any of those